today I'm going to make Dan show you some of his favorite fish.
Well, let me take you around. I'm going to show you the first one that really blew my mind.
Probably should have done a mic check first, but looks like they're on.
It's on.
Looks good.
So this is a fish that I'm in love with. This is a mountain grunter, Phasis habamani. And these are from Papua New Guinea. There's similar fish in Australia. They call them, I think, grunters and cod and all kinds of names like that. The reason I like them is I cannot think of another fish like this. This is my first time seeing these. I'm pretty certain this is we're the only people that have them in the United States right now. And so that's kind of fun when you get a fish that, you know, you think you're the only one that has it. That's kind of fun. But besides that, it's just like, what is that? It's like a sunfish that had a baby with a datinoid. I don't know what this is. It's so unique and interesting. And so that's my number one, I think. This is the tank every time I walk by I find myself stopping at and just looking at and being like, those are cool. And they're pretty active. Like, they're an interesting fish to watch. They don't just sit there. And the pattern is unique. I don't know what it is about them. It's just they're so odd.
So being the only fish in the U.S., I'm sure the price tag will reflect that.
These are not cheap. They were not cheap to source. They were not cheap to bring in. They pack one per bag.
Oh, so that's taking up a lot of box space.
That takes up a lot of space in the box, and they're not cheap to source. Just the fish itself is expensive.
Hopefully you never sell them and you get to keep them forever.
Yeah, that's right.
Although, I mean, I hope you do sell them. Yeah, that's right. All right, what's next?
The next one is close by.
Oh, that's easy.
I don't think these are probably going to show on camera.
Oh, no, they don't.
Is good as they look in person, but these are the gold gobies, Mugil gobius rexi, and they frequently, several times a day, the males flare up and get dark accents on their fins and their body, and the black against the yellow is just really pretty. I also like their behavior. They have interesting goby behavior. Gobies always have neat antics, but these are a little different. I've never seen these actually suction on anything. I think they could, but I've never seen them do it. They tend to kind of hang out just above the surface. I would say like bottom third of the aquarium. They perch down on the bottom a little bit, but often they're kind of just swimming around, hanging out. So they're a little less goby-like than I guess a lot of gobies. Their behavior is just a little different than I would expect. They're only about an inch right now. They're not going to get real big. They're easy to feed so far, easy to keep. I feed them frozen foods and live foods. We fed them a little bit of dry foods, and they're starting to warm up to it, but it's going to be a little while before they're there. But it's just such a unique fish. And they don't seem to beat on each other or anything like that.
Yeah, they seem fairly peaceful. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they match the substrate perfectly, so the camera gets confused on what to focus on.
Yeah. It's probably not going to be a surprise to anyone.
No.
These guys. These are the teardrop gobies. Sicyopus multisquamatus. I just love them. I've had them in before, and I fell in love with them then. I got them again, and I'm still in love with them now. Now, they are a little more aggressive to each other, but it's manageable. That's why we have all these like pipe castles in the back and all this kind of fake foliage here. With some hardscape and some cover, they're fine with each other. But they're big. I would say the biggest one in here is about 2.5 inches, something like that, 2 to 2.5 inches. And
yeah, there's some big fat ones in there too.
They eat very readily, and just the behavior. Gobies are just clowns. The way they suction onto stuff and kind of hop around and things. These guys are always up front begging for food, and the color is amazing, even when it's washed out. So many of these don't have their full color yet. This one, I don't know if it'll pick up, but you'll see a couple in there where the orange is verging on like hot orange. I don't know what else to call it. Like, it has a lot more red saturated in it, and it's a lot darker and brighter. I've had them, the other batch I had long enough that they settled in, and the black on them turned really black, and the orange on them turned really red. And it was just stunning. So if you can imagine this is great, right? Anyone would be happy with the fish right now. But if you can imagine this with even more contrast.
Yeah, some of them are really fired up.
Mm-hmm. So that's my number 2.
That's your number 3.
Now the other one is really close. It's right
Oh, hey,
here.
hey, look at that, makes it easy.
I've never seen Melanitania Gary Langeye in person. I guess it's just Gary Langeye before. I love them. Unfortunately, it's late afternoon right now, so they've kind of settled down. But in the morning, they really fire up, and they stay fired up through the early afternoon. And the color is amazing and intense. They get these orange and red striations down the body. The fins get a lot of color in them, and they're out and about and flashing. And I don't know if the tour will show it more in detail, but this has been a revelation to me.
Yeah, and they'll get way more colorful as they get a little older too.
Oh yeah, these are around, we're talking about 2 inches here. This
Yeah.
is a 4-inch fish when it's fully settled in, somewhere around there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is my first time with this species, and I am not disappointed.
All right, last one.
Okay. So the last one is quite different. It's all the way across the warehouse. It's a Pleco.
Uh-oh.
This is a new ancestress. They call it the 519 is the L number from Rio y Tenes. And I'm trying to get a little light back in there.
Oh, they're all hanging out back here.
Yeah,
You can see
so
them.
we can kind of see them. I don't know if it's going to show, but they have an amazing pattern like a Wannamoonster. I think that's how you say that, Pleco, but with more orange on the body. And I think they're super cool. It's my first time ever seeing these, and I've fallen in love. I found them
a good one.
as easy to take care of as ancestors typically are. They eat veggies, they eat everything. They like to chew on the wood, and hopefully they're kind of back there. The light's not reaching them the best, so hopefully they're showing
It's
up.
coming in okay, yeah.
You
One
see
of
the
them-
pattern at least.
One of them looks really good.
Yeah. And that I can't wait to see what those turn into as they grow up. So that's what I'm really excited about.
All right. Well, whoa, holy smokes.
That's a lot of bob.
That was zoomed in pretty far. It's still pretty zoomed in there.
There we go.
Holy cow.
All
So
right.
you're going to see right up my nose. Well, there's Dan's favorite fish. And that's about all I got for you today. But anyways, I'll see you all next time.